first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Off the play fake. Bernard is going to let this one go deep. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They'll start the drive with Harris, and he'll be taken down right around the 27. Jordan Brooks on the tackle. This defense for the Dolphins, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Quick throw completed by Watson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. Harris running straight ahead. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And again, it's Chubb. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Bernard. He'll get this one to Pittman. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. The Dolphins 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
Bernard churning, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Throwing to start the drive. Bernard throwing the out route incomplete. That's Morris. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. Room here to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They give the Chubb out of the gun, and he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
And this one is right through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to win that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
Ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take, punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. To throw is Watson. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
First down, and they go back to Harris. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And room there to work it inside the 25.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Here's Watson on the sneak. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
Well, that play seemed well scouted defensively. They collapsed everything inside. Nowhere to go on the quarterback sneak. Now it's going to bring up 4th down.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
I don't care what he's listed in the program. Fullback, running back, tailback, it doesn't matter. He ran that play like a fullback. Just like the old days when we saw the fullback dive. How about him picking that one up?
Only needed a yard on 4th down. That's what he's there for, right?
Exactly. Line him up, short yardage situation, and say, here it is, big man. Go get it.
Watson on first down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Calvin Austin with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They begin this drive with Chubb. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Off play action. Bernard. And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big pickup of 38. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages. What are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bernard. And a throw for Pittman is intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the Steelers are going to get the football back at their own 17.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
And the defense almost got one there, partner.
That could have been his first pick. He's been good so far, but you're right, that was nearly a costly mistake.
Sometimes you get a little bit too confident when the game's going along as it has been for him.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now it's Watson. Dancing to his left. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. And Joseph Charlton on now to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Here's Chubb on the read option. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3. Running for it. Here's Chubb. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Going out wide finds Chubb. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Nick Chubb, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-17. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
On second down, this is Harris. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Here's Watson. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Amani Hooker. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They run it again with Chubb. They find some open field here. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Nick Chubb, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins have retaken a third-quarter lead. The point after is good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster. I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Pushes him over. That's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 16 more on that one and another first down. On the give, this is Harris. And he's taken down inside the 30. 73 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they get to the end zone real fast.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
They hand this off to Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have taken the lead here this 3rd quarter. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Bernard. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Chubb on the counter. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working. But how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. From the 16, Watson. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the 3rd quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. An option handoff given to Harris. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a dump off here complete, and he'll be brought down at the 27.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. To throw on 3rd down, Bernard. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And the Steelers are right back in this football game. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And now Watson throws another interception. Picked off by Caleb Farley. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet and make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking it.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes in interceptions result.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 24 yards.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Harris, touchdown, Pittsburgh. So he's had a nose for the end zone here in the early part of this season. 2 touchdowns for him now in this one to go along with the one he had in the opener as well.
Yeah, he certainly finds where the goal line is and finds a way to get across it. But you know who else senses it? The guys that block for him. Because he has that instinct, I think they hold their blocks just a little bit longer.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 101 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Boy, what would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake. Bernard. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll leave them with 3rd and a full yard to go. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the 1st. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Let's go now.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Check contact. Check contact.
And again, it's Chubb. He'll take this to the 46. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
On the jump. 3.
And Chubb will try the middle here. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Partner, you got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. back to throw. Out to the right and complete to Pittman. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it'll be 4th down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Ready?
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Got a man. It's Waddle, complete. And he will have a Dolphins first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb, and he'll be taken down here at about the 11. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
Hey, smash circle! Happy Lions!
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th. Wow. No problem there on the extra point. And it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come from behind victory. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
So remember, Charles, last time they were out here, they scored, but they just saw the opposition score, and they're trailing right now, so they're trying to keep pace here. They need a touchdown drive.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you're loving this, but if you're a fan of defense, this is tough to watch, and it's also tough to keep that up when you just watch your opponent march down the field on a scoring drive that lasts into double-digit snaps. You need a score here, not just to follow the momentum from your last drive, but put the onus back on your opponent. And that's what they're doing right now, swapping that onus back and forth.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Watson. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Tariq Woolen picks it.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Miami, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.